Hi, this is Eric, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, right down there is a subscribe button. Click that, subscribe with us. We would love to have you along for the journey. Hi, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. Also, feel free to comment below. Love to have the participation and interaction with you, because the more tools that we can give to each other, the more that it comes down to people helping people. And today I just wanted to give my thoughts and personal experiences of when it comes to helping people. And that you cannot let one bad individual or one instance stop you from whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in life. You know, a lot of times when we're reaching out, we will stop reaching out if we have a bad incident that happens. I use a lot of this with, personal experiences, and I just went through one. And that's kind of what sparked this whole video is, I'm a sales manager. I've been in the RV business for 17 years, and I really do enjoy it. And this has become a big passion of mine, is sharing tools and sharing experiences and doing my reach out, making sure that nobody's left alone and starting my own business. But one of the things I've noticed with being a sales manager, I've always been able to help people, and it's always been about people helping people. And you help out your salesmen because, let's face it, not anyone really wants to go into sales. And if you're watching this and you're not in sales, there's a reason you're not in sales. And it's one of those few things that we can say, yeah, we're not in sales. It's not like a doctor where I'm not a doctor because I didn't want to do the schooling, or I couldn't afford it, whatever it might be, or I didn't want to be that lawyer, or I was going to school for this and decided to switch majors because of my passion. Sales is something that we're kind of bred into. If you're a salesman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And throughout always helping people, you will always run into an instance or people that will shake your faith in humanity. What I mean by this, and I don't know if you experienced it because I have, where you really pour in your heart and soul into somebody and you give them everything you got. You might have experienced it with a family member even, or a friend, because it's not discriminative to who, sometimes the individuals are. But, just recently I had an individual that I gave my heart and soul to, work-wise, and spent extra hours, took time away from my family, and did as much as I could to help this person, whether it was a late night deal, whatever, to actually have it all spun around and not willing to even say anything to me, to have a different message portrayed, to other individuals. And it really hit me hard in the heart. It rocked my world a little bit, especially right now, of how I am extremely open and I share so much. It was one of those things that I like to think that I'm pretty approachable. I do know I have the shaved head and all that, but if you know my story, and I'm a very big social butterfly, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody. It was one of those things that if there was really an issue or a problem, I would have thought it would have been brought to me. And we have to have those reminders in life that that's not the case. And that's really what this video is about, is well, how do you kind of protect yourself, or what do you do if this happens to you? And the easiest thing is, it's not easy. It hurts. How about that? It hurts. That's the first thing to know. Once you accept the hurt, once you accept what happened, and you accept the challenges, then you can do one of two things. You can be resentful. You can be vindictive. You can want them to feel almost the same pain that you felt, but that accomplishes nothing. The other side of it, though, is something that I don't want anyone to ever do, and that is we pull back. Don't ever pull back. Don't let that one bad apple or that one bad seed ruin it for everybody else. If you're in therapy and you feel that, you start pulling back from that, or the therapist didn't help you, or the doctor didn't help you, or your support group, something happened, don't pull back, because believe me, support still is there for you. And a lot of times we forget that because we take it as a very personal attack. And all I can tell you is from personal experience, multiple times, that it's not the case. One individual does not dictate how a support system is or a support group is. So do not let that affect your life with that group. Don't let that affect your friendships with others. Don't let that affect your family members. And how you don't is, you can talk about it openly. You can share about it. You direct the question head on, even though sometimes it's as hard as possible to do. I know that, and we become a victim of our own mind and our own brain, telling us stories and why everyone hates us and why this isn't going to work. But it's okay to. The more that we let out and the more that we share, the more healing that happens. I mean, it really does happen that way. So share with everybody. Let them know, hey, we had a conflict. We had a challenge. This is my side of it. There's always two sides to every story, and then you take it down the middle and split it in half, and that's probably what happened. But don't do the knee-jerk reactions. That's another thing is remove yourself from the situation, give yourself a day to sleep on it, and to actually try to look at it from their point of view. Easier said than done. But believe me, if you get to the point that you can do that, it does huge, marvelous things for your head. Of being able to remove yourself from that situation, look at it and go, okay, let me try and see it from their perspective. And even if you see it from their perspective, you're still going to be biased because your way is always the right way, and it's okay. That's how we are. We're human beings, and that's how we think. But see it from their perspective, and then move past it. You can't hold on to the luggage. You can't hold on to this baggage, because all it's going to do is weigh you down. It's going to stop you from hitting your goals. It's going to stop you from pushing forward, and it's going to stop you from fighting as hard. And the worst thing you can ever do is give up this fight. You don't ever give up the fight. You earned it all in life. You've earned where you're at right now because you're a fighter, because of who you are. And the worst enemy in the world isn't those people who will do things every now and then to either inadvertently hurt you or on purpose to hurt you. Your biggest battle in life isn't them. It's your brain. Because right now, for example, I could be very depressed. I could be very wallowing. And don't get me wrong, I went through all these stages. You kind of go through the little stages of grief and everything. But I also, I go through it very quick, because I understand what's happening, and as soon as I get the understanding, my brain can process it all. Makes it a lot easier to come up with the right conclusions and to be at peace with it. So no matter what these people have done to you, no matter what a friend has done or family member has done, try and see it from their perspective. Don't do the knee-jerk reaction. It's not you. You got to also see that there's a different side to the story. But take yourself a step back and try and put yourself into their shoes. But then no matter what the conclusion, no matter what the reality is that comes up, whether you restore this friendship or not, whether you restore this relationship with your family or not, move forward. Don't wallow in your brain. Don't let your brain take you to that dark place. It's not worth it. And especially for anyone who suffers from anxiety or suffers from depression, our brain is our own worst enemy. And it can take us down that path where it self-defeats us and all that negative self-talk starts happening. That's where you need to reach out and you need to grab a book. You need to get into Tony Robbins. You need to find some YouTube videos that get you in a positive environment or a positive mental state of mind. You need to sit down and you need to journal out your thoughts. And it just comes down to how well is your self-maintenance. If you're wallowing in those thoughts and you're falling in that pit of despair, your self-maintenance isn't where it needs to be. So sit back and find out, what am I doing to really make sure that my mental state is there? How is my support there? For me, I have my wife. I have a couple close friends. That's my support group, and I start reaching out to them. And sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's difficult too, but I can tell you what, that little bit of fear and that little bit of pain and that little bit of fear of rejection is not even close to the healing that happens when you start to talk about it and we start to share. So whoever your support group is, even if your support group is me because you've reached out to me, like I said, we can't heal each other over the phone. You can't heal each other by listening. It doesn't fix it. But your brain starts to process it differently. And your brain starts to rationalize it and figure out, okay, what's the next step? And that's what you really need to do. So if you've experienced this before in your life, you know what, you're going to probably experience it again. I know I will. I think we all have. And I think that we've all dealt with it different ways. And so knowing different ways to cope with it when you do get deeply affected like this by a friendship or a relationship, a family member, somebody that you didn't expect to hurt you inadvertently or advertently, how we react to it is everything, because that sets off the chain reaction. So take that step back, split the story in the middle. Do some self-analyzing. Don't do a knee-jerk reaction. Because when we do a knee-jerk reaction without comprehension, without knowledge, without knowing what's happening, and knowing fully everything, we can always come to the wrong conclusions, and I have before too. So take that step back, journal it down, write it down, take a little bit of self-meditation time, take some me time, and really help process it through, and you're going to be on a little bit of a fight with your brain. Don't go down that dark path. If you need tools and support to not go down that dark path, that's where you reach out to your support group. That's where you reach out to your support system. But wanted to share this because it's important to me and because it matters. And the more life experiences that we hear others share, and the more that we get involved with each other, and the more tools that we share, and the more research and more everything that we have, just that knowledge of how to overcome this battle of life sometimes. When we do it together, it makes it so much easier. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, hit the subscribe button down below. Check out some of our other videos. It's all about people helping people and giving you tools and support and whatever it takes to make it through the journey of life. You know, this is all self-funded by me, and I love every minute of it, and I love everybody that I've got to meet, because we all help each other in our own ways, and sometimes not even when we understand or know it. So I hope that you're having a beautiful day today. Click the subscribe button down below, comment below, tell me your thoughts, share with me. Love to have the participation, love to be able to answer some questions, and love to be able to ask a lot of questions, because the more questions we ask, the more we learn. So I'm Eric, I'm with Driven Industry.